Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel and welcome to your daily energy check. I hope you guys are doing great. I'm still in Greece, just doing the reading from my room today. I'm gonna jump straight in, trying to make them shorter if I can, because I am struggling with internet connections. It's not easy to upload videos. So if anybody has any questions on anything at all, you can put them in the comments and I'll respond. If you're interested in personal readings, I still take requests. And I mean, I am gonna be home in a week, but even during these coming days, I'm still gonna have time to do personal readings. Not many, but some. And feel free to reach out to me, whether it's specifically related to the twin flame journey or it doesn't have to be. And a reminder that we have solar eclipse coming up just in a couple of days, so I will be posting. I decided to do two separate videos around the solar eclipse. One is going to be specifically for twin flames, and I plan to do that on the 1st of October. The eclipse is going to be on the 2nd, and I do want to do a separate video on Mindful Bamboo channel for every zodiac sign. I think it's going to be very beneficial. And yeah, I mean, you can check for your sun, moon, and rising reading for each of those placements and put them together. This will give you definitely a more specific picture to where you are personally, depending on your natal chart and your strong placements. So that's the plan. I'll share more in the newsletter that's coming out on Monday. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I will have a chance to post it, because that's another thing that where I'm struggling if I don't have proper internet connection. I tried doing it the previous week and I failed, so I was like, okay, no newsletter this week, I guess. But there are gonna be important updates, and I want to share the link to the video with zodiac updates for the eclipse, so I'll definitely work on that. All right, let's get into the reading. We're starting with an oracle message as always. And yes, I only took a couple of tarot decks with me, so the readings these days are featuring my Celtic deck and Witch's Tarot deck, but I love them. They're beautiful, and I'm still, especially with the Celtic deck, I think that's the latest one that I bought. I'm still learning about the artwork, and it is quite different from the classic Right Away Tarot. So Divine Feminines, what do you need to know? Taking shelter. The answers are within. So this is a hermit energy. Don't look outside for answers at this time. You already have the answers, and they're within. I would say meditation, yoga, any kind of mindfulness practice that works for you will be beneficial at this time. Masculines, you've got the faraway places. Get ready for new horizons. Masculines are traveling, on the other hand. And I just saw that in yesterday's reading, where masculines got the Chariot and Judgment card. But the Judgment card in Witch's Tarot was, in Celtic Tarot was like the a guy like riding the dolphin, and again kind of like going somewhere, right? So the Divine is definitely pushing the masculine, getting them into the position to take action and to accelerate progress. Let's see what we get with tarot. I'll use the Witch's Tarot as the main deck today. Alright, so you can see the cards, but I think at least we got a nice lighting, and I need to figure out the right time of the day to record on the balcony, which I love generally, but at a certain point, when the sun is up, you can't see me well, which I don't think is ideal. So I'm still experimenting a little bit, but I feel like this room is also beautiful for this kind of reading, so why not? Let's mix it up. I might do one more reading outside, but I'm not sure, because it actually gets quite windy and the island is quite hilly, so you end up in a exposed to the wind in quite a lot of places where you can't really hide. It's not like a forest. I mean, there are foresty areas, but you know, the hiking that I'm doing, or like if I'm going to the beach, it usually doesn't really have trees, so it gets tricky in windy weather. Queen of Cups, bottom of the deck for the main deck. Yeah, there's definitely something about emotional intelligence that the twins are learning these days, and I feel that it has something to do with mourning and accepting the loss of something or someone. Like we're becoming more educated on what that looks like, what that feels like, and how can we help others go through that journey, and how can we accelerate our own experiences, where we want to give ourselves safe space to process those feelings and emotions, but we don't want to get stuck in it for too long. Five of Cups. Yeah, so this is like looking into this is exactly what I was talking about. So interesting, because Five of Cups is about mourning the loss, right? It's about having that sadness and upset from something that was lost. So this is a confirmation of what I was talking about. Okay, the energy for the feminine. Wow, Two of Cups in Judgment. That's the card I was talking about, was the dolphin. This is so beautiful. The soul connection, heart opening, the revelation on, I'm getting how you recognize that it's time for union, or you know, let's say you're in connection with your masculine, but you're not fully in union yet, but you have access to them, you communicate. So this could be the message that I'm getting for these people is that you'll know when it's the right time to fully come together, you know, into whatever that next step is for you, basically in a committed relationship. You will know the right time, right, if you're worried about it, but pay attention to those messages from the divine. They're all important. And whatever your interaction and communication is with the masculine, it's important. Like details to it are important. What is going well? Where do you or them or both of you struggle still? Like those are your clues. That's your roadmap of where you're supposed to go next to get fully ready. And don't worry about them. The divine is taking care of their side. I mean, obviously there are things that they will need to do, and you don't need to be their mom or dad, you know, gender. Doesn't matter in this case, but you know, you don't need to parent them. You don't need to be that guru that will tell them, do you know that you're actually supposed to do this in this way, and you're not supposed to do that, and I see you have an addiction here and you should quit that, right? Like it's only going to be pushing the person farther away. And if you think about it, I'm sure if you can reverse the roles, it would be very similar. Maybe not the same, because you have more emotional capacity maybe to hold that energy, but it's not something that you would want to hear, especially from somebody who you see as your life partner. And trust me, masculines see you that way. It's just that there is something in their vibration that may be stopping them from committing fully because of what they see is wrong on their side. Masculines, your energy is Queen of Swords, clarified by Seven of Wands. Yeah, I saw a little bit of this energy yesterday about fighting for standing up for yourself in terms of the belief system. And this is like being very masculine, in the position where they're protecting what's dear and near to their heart, and they're ready to fight till the end. But they understand that a lot of it is really about communication. Like they need to build the boundaries that are strong enough for people not to be able to even get to them, you know, like they can say something hurtful, but it's not really gonna hurt the masculine's feelings. That's the emotional capacity I was talking about at the beginning of the read for both twins. Like, you know, get into the space where you are so confident in your recognition of the truth and your belief systems and your values that you don't really care what other people are saying about it. It's not gonna shake your position. It's not gonna get you angry or upset or whatever, or isn't gonna push you to reconsider your values. Additional question. Knight of Cups clarified by Nine of Wands. Yeah, there is something here about love expression, and there are certain insecurities that each of the twins has when it comes to expressing love. So what do feminines need to know here? 5 of Swords clarified by 10 of Pentacles. Very interesting 5 going into 10, but of course different suits. 5 of Swords can be actually going back to childhood wounding, and obviously 10 of Pentacles is normally the family, so it could be something there that, you know, in terms of how your parents were treating you and expressing their love to you, or for some I'm getting that this is also worthiness, right? The 10 of Pentacles is about abundance and your value, your worth, right? Feeling like you're not worthy somehow, right? It can resolve difficulty in giving and receiving love. Like it could be, you could have a hard time receiving compliments, for example, or you can have a hard time saying certain words of appreciation to another person, certain words of love, or, you know, like essentially what is it that you value about them being in your life? Are you noticing it? Are you able to express it? Those are the questions to ask yourself. For masculines, King of Wands clarified by Page of Swords. Masculines, I'm hearing there's a lot of passion and drive and desire within, but it's hard to communicate. And when they start talking about anything like that they really truly care about and are passionate about, they oftentimes come out as a Page of Swords, which is very I don't want to say unknowledgeable, but unskillful, kind of. Like, it's hard to talk about those things, basically. And of course you can take it how it resonates for your situation, but essentially that's the problem. Like, that's where the problem is. And this is a general reading, so I can't go too much into detail, and it would be different for each of you. But I would just say that essentially that becomes a block. And maybe you just didn't, for masculines watching, maybe you just didn't pay a lot of attention to it because you thought that it's okay, that the main thing is that you feel it and you're like, you have your determination to get towards it, to make it a success, or to bring more of that into your life. But when it comes to it, obviously, let's take an example with the connection. So if you feel strongly about your feminine, maybe you thought that that's all that matters, right? And then you're taking actions towards making it happen. But if you don't say anything to your feminine, or you're struggling and what comes out just puts them off really, or seems like you're not really interested, it hurts them, you know. There is detrimental value in it. And there is another side, that example or perspective that I'll give you, that I actually experienced with my potential DM at some point. So they are in a position that they, you know, have lots of feelings. I could feel that in my heart. Like, I could see that the love is so strong that I really feel that in their field and going into my field. And on the one hand, for me, that was enough, at least for the moment. And on the other hand, they thought that if they don't express it, that there's no harm done. Right? Because if you express it, then there's responsibility behind it, that, you know, the feminine will want something out of it, like you want to build a relationship, will start making rules and all these things. It's more freeing if you don't express it. You just keep it to yourself, but you're still in that flow of energy. You're still feeling those things, and that's already very uplifting to the masculines. By the way, for feminines watching, that's powerful on its own, and a lot of times that can prevent them from talking, right? Because they know from their previous experiences that meant then expectations. That meant that events are supposed to follow, right? The relationship is supposed to develop, and maybe they're not ready for it yet. But for masculines watching, there is just giving you a different angle to it, right? Like, you may think that if you're not saying anything, that the feminine is not hurt, right? Like, because there's no conversation about it. But your feminine knows. They can feel it. They can see it in your body language. Like, it's all over, written all over you. And imagine when you know how much love somebody has for you, but they don't express it, and sometimes they're purposefully hiding it, because for one or another reason they're not ready. How hurtful it is, actually, or it can be. So something to consider for masculines here. Feminines, how are you seeing the connection at this time? 9 of Wands again and Strength again. I'm pretty sure we saw these cards yesterday, but it was actually in a additional question, I think, position. But in any case, this card is major right now because I used it as a main deck. And what I would say is that yes, there is still this education around courage and strength, because this is a major arcana, right? So you are being educated in it to overcome the fears that you have about the connection, which you have, right? And this is something to, hopefully this connection will inspire you to work on those things, on those insecurities, on those wounds that you don't have taken care of, right? For some people, I'm maybe worse looking into the internal family systems. I'm just hearing this very vividly right now and talking to the exiled parts, connecting to them, because it will definitely help you prepare for that union that is coming up that we saw here. Like, you know, this is, to me, this is saying the union is on the horizon. It's very, very close, but there's still certain things to consider and to work on. Masculines, how are you seeing the connection? 10 of Pentacles and 3 of Pentacles. And this is the best 10 of Pentacles that you can have. And this is, by the way, another synchronicity. We had that yesterday with the same, I think it was 6 of Pentacles, which is about service and mission. Repeated for present for each of the twins. Today is 10 of Pentacles, which is beautiful, right? Masculines want the family together. They want this to be a true partnership in love, in life, in creative projects, in parenting, in creating legacy. This is beautiful. This is like true inspiration. And 3 of Pentacles in this deck is very special too. It's like a ritual with talking to ancestors and bringing in the druid power, created something beautiful on earth. So they're waking up to this bigger idea of union in terms of light work, in terms of making the humankind a better place. And yeah, there's still, I'm hearing immediately, there's still some fear there of how much they can contribute and how good they're gonna be at it. But it's a process, it's work in progress, it's coming around, and beautiful things are about to happen as it unfolds. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I love you all, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon.